Y'all have been asking for it, so I'm gonna share my favorite recipe for brown butter chocolate chip cookies.
This recipe is actually based on the one that Claire Saffitz published in her book Dessert Person, which I totally recommend you buy. It's a phenomenal book. But we're gonna start by measuring out the dry ingredients. I've got 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and then in a separate bowl, I've got 3/4 of a cup each of white sugar and brown sugar. Next up, I'm gonna brown 2 sticks of butter. Now, some quick tips when it comes to browning butter, because I used to get this wrong all the time. Really what you're doing is melting the butter to the point where the fats and the milk solids separate, and the milk solids will start to brown and become really fragrant, nutty, and delicious. I let this go over like a medium-low heat until all of that foaming subsides, and then you'll be able to see the milk solids in the bottom of the pan as they start to brown. Now, once they start to brown, go ahead and turn the heat off, and I'm gonna dump this into a separate bowl, because this can go from browned to burnt really quickly. I'm adding 2 tablespoons of cold milk to the butter. I'm gonna set that aside so it can cool down, and then I'm chopping up 12 ounces of a combination of dark and semi-sweet chocolate. I definitely recommend using bar chocolate instead of chocolate chips. Once the butter's cooled for a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and add in all of our sugars and whisk it very vigorously for about a minute or so until it's just lightened in color and gotten a little bit thicker. Then in go 2 eggs, a big splash of vanilla extract, and I'm gonna continue to whisk it for about another minute. Then I'm adding in all the dry ingredients, folding those in, as well as all of our chopped chocolate. Next, I'm gonna scoop this out onto a little baking tray and put them in the fridge to chill. Chilling the dough allows the flavors and the texture to really develop, so I don't recommend you skip it. I let mine chill overnight, but if you're in a bit of a time crunch, I've done this before where I chill them for about 2 to 3 hours and they still come out really great. I'm gonna bake these off on a large sheet tray, 6 at a time because they do spread, at 350 degrees for about 12 to 15 minutes. If you have leftover dough that you're not gonna make immediately, throw that into a Ziploc bag and stick it in the freezer, and you can have a cookie whenever you want. There's a reason that my friends and family ask for these cookies all the time. They are delicious. The edges get super crispy, the middle is gooey and full of chocolate, and they have that delicious, deeply toasted flavor from the brown butter. Y'all are definitely gonna want to give these a try.